Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Got some rapid fire spoilers coming up. So we've got the mini extravaganza kicking off for AMGs. There's going to be a heap of videos coming over the next few days, which is perfect, just in time for my days off. So we'll get straight into it. So they opened up big. So we've come in with the Hulkbuster, which is also surprisingly bringing in a new leadership as well for Avengers, which is outstanding. So we'll get straight into it. So Hulkbuster, Tony Stark, we are coming in at 13 health, which is amazing. That is huge. Love to see these big health tanks. I like seeing more of them. They're a lot of fun. They feel like they can just be taking an absolute massive amount of punishment and still hang around, and I think this guy will. So medium mover, he's a large base guy, so just put your medium move down on MODOK and see how far he moves. So very, very fast, which makes sense. Look at him. He's basically flying around on jetpacks all the time. Size 4, so he's difficult to reposition off of any objective he's sitting on. There is still a few big characters in that S tier that can take him on, but for the most part, your average character cannot reposition this guy, which is absolutely outstanding. 6th threat, and he feels like a 6th threat, so this is really cool. So it's another 6th threat leader. We don't have many of them, and they're usually pretty spicy, so we'll get straight in at 4, 3, 3 for defense. It's pretty normal. You'd expect that from something like this. 4 physical, excellent. 3 energy, 3 mystic, outstanding. Nothing below average, that's what we want to see. We'll get to his first attack. This is a really, really good attack as well. So range 3, 6 dice energy, which is great because there's some new characters floating around like Blade and stuff, which hate energy, so it's good to see. After it's resolved, this character gains power equal to the damage dealt. Awesome. This next bit is the really cool part. After this attack is resolved, if it did not deal damage, you gain 1 power. So it's very good at making like your plays for your turn easier to map out than having to take high risks. You can just map out some guaranteed power gain to make something happen. So it's really good. And after it's resolved, push the target character away. Doesn't have to do damage. There's no size limit on that. Just a straight push away. So that is Shuri, which we love, right? We already know Shuri's great. Now we're locking it behind a 6th threat. So that's really good. Really, really, really good. With the Meteor Punch, range 3, 8 dice, 3 power. Absolutely outstanding. That is massively above curve, which is what we want to see on a 6th threat, two above curve attacks. The target character does not gain power equal to damage dealt. That is unbelievable, and we love seeing that. It's one of the rarest things in the game. And locked behind a massive attack like this is just unbelievable. If it deals damage, the target character is size 4 or less. If the attack is resolved, the target may be thrown medium. Sorry, at the back end of a few night shifts. Medium throw off of an attack is just mental. And size 4 as well, guys. Like that's honestly nuts. You know, he can just deal 1 point of damage to this with MODOK, and he's throwing your MODOK from range 3 medium. Like, it is just mental. And it has a wild explosive. Before damage is dealt, other enemy characters within 2 suffer 1 damage, which that's just gravy points right there. Well, that's good to see, but we would have been happy with the first 2. So we get to his first thing, right, the Hulkbusters, which, by the way, is one of the coolest names ever. Affiliation Avengers. When an allied character would suffer damage from a collision, reduce the amount suffered by 1. When your squad is using the Hulkbuster leadership, when this character is put into play, you are still using this leadership ability. Okay, cool. So what this means is he's a bit tricky, right? There's 2 sides to him, but he doesn't have an injured side, so that's what this is getting at, okay? Secondly, one of the most consistent things in Marvel to do to remove a character at low health is to throw them into things and deal the auto single damage. This leadership completely removes that. And it's in Avengers. So now Avengers has 3 choices of leadership. Do you need to go Steve Rogers? Do you need to go down Sam? Or do you go with Tony Stark? All 3 of them are very, very different leaderships. Sam in particular is probably the best, but this is a very close second. This would be a really great pick to take as your leadership if you think you're going to be versing a throw-heavy squad. So it's great. You can just straight Make your whole team takes less damage, guys. It's a win-win. Not only that, but the most consistent play in Marvel for taking out a character is removed from your opponent, but it's not removed from you, so it's outstanding. We have a 2-power hit and run, which is you make an attack action followed by a move action. Love it. Love to see it. Hit and run's a great ability. It's really underutilized. Charge is the easier to use, but hit and run is just as good. Hit and run is particularly brutal when it's like you attack and then you hit and run off your second attack, and then you run and you get into cover and you batten down the hatches. So it's really powerful for that. Third superpower, Now I'm Mad. These are all active, by the way. Choose an interactive terrain feature of size 4 or less within 2. Throw a medium. 3 power. That is excellent. Size 4 throw, medium throw, huge, right? Like there is some other size 4 throws out there. Magneto's long, but for the most part, they're generally small. So having it medium, thumbs up. Built to take it. When this character is targeted by an attack, so at the point of them saying they're attacking your Hulkbuster, you can pay 1 power, reduce the amount of damage dealt by 1. Oh man, sorry about that, apologies. Reduce the amount of damage dealt by this attack by 1, and this character cannot be pushed as a result of special rules during this attack. Amazing. Anti-Shuri tech, because the very first thing people think of is, I'll just push this bloke away. No, you won't, and you also won't do any damage, because there's no minimum on that. So if you do 1 damage and he pays for this, it's no damage. So his 13 health locked behind his decent defensive lineup with that 1 power ability, he is going to be there to stay. And now we have where it gets a bit crazy, right? I'll read the bottom. So enhanced support systems is infinite, so it's an innate ability. Iron Man Hulkbuster. I'll read the bottom. Additionally, during the power phase, you gain 1 extra power, so your 2 power turn character. Hell yeah, we love to see it. So it means that no matter what, if you want to just play super aggro, you can do a heavy repulsor blast into a meteor punch, guaranteed every single turn, which is nuts for wiping out Modocs and things like that. The first part of this superpower, if this character would flip its stat card to an injured side, place Iron Man Hulkbuster within 2 of it, then remove this character from the battlefield. Your Iron Man Hulkbuster has no damage, power, special conditions, or effects, and is now part of your squad. The important thing here, guys, to note is it does not say he gains an activated tick, as far as I can see. So when you do kill Hulkbuster, Tony Stark pops out the back in the backup suit, and he hasn't activated, so he still gets to go. There is a downside to that, is if like they kill your Hulkbuster before you can activate, it's not actually flipping priority in your favor, which sucks. But it's also good because you're getting Tony Stark, right? So I can see some all you've got plays here because he's 6th threat. When he's on the cusp of death, doing all you've got, burn the world, and then immediately get a backup suit Tony Stark that hasn't activated. So not many downsides there. I'll just go to the next one. Give me 2 secs, guys. There it is. So this is his flip side. Healthy, you'll note. So he has no unhealthy side, which is very, very powerful. That feels good for a 6th threat. So stat line for Iron Man Hulkbuster. Keep in mind this is a backup suit, guys. This isn't like a full-on Iron Man suit, even though it kind of looks like it. 5 health, medium mover, size 2, 6th threat, and he is a small base as far as I know. 2-2-2, 2-2-3 for defense. Very poor defense. Backup suit, guys. It's not built to be the main suit, okay? His attack is a rapid repulsor blast. Range 4, 4 dice, 0 power. After it's resolved, gain an auto power. After the attack is resolved, push a target away S. Again, guys, no size on this. So, and it's a rapid fire as well, so wild rapid fire. After this attack is resolved, you may immediately make 1 additional rapid repulsor blast attack. The additional attack must target the original character. And it doesn't gain the rapid fire special rule. So this is insane. This is Shuri with rapid fire. So this Iron Man can push 4 people a turn. Auto push, auto power. It's a very, very powerful control piece that comes out the back of this Hulkbuster suit. And important to note, he maintains the same leadership. So the leadership doesn't change on either side. So that's just insane. You're not upset about that. You need to protect this Iron Man, so you need to have bodyguards online. So maybe we don't know how it works, but whether the good choice is to not bodyguard attacks off of the main Iron Man and save it for this, so you save your Okoye to help him, or don't know, either or. or do you just keep your other Iron Man for as long as possible? Let me know in the comments, guys, like which one you think. I personally think it's probably going to be try to maintain the Hulkbuster for as long as possible, but see what happens. We now have the most expensive superpower in the game. Always have a backup. Place a Hulkbuster within one of this character. It has no damage, power, special conditions, or effects. Hulkbuster gains an activated token. It is now part of your squad. Remove this character in the game. So, ideally, from what looks like, the current plan here is to gain as much power as possible on this Iron Man to re-bring out the Hulkbuster. Realistically, guys, well, this is a turn 5 and 6 play. So once that Hulkbuster goes down, I personally would just be making the best with what I've got with this Iron Man. And then maybe, if it's turn 5, maybe, and I happen to finish my activation with 10 power, I pay that 10 power and bring in Hulkbuster at turn 5. But that's about as good as I think it's going to get. We have a new plan, reactive superpower. After an attack targeting this character is resolved, if this character was damaged by the attack, you may use this superpower. This character advances medium. This is slippery from Toad. We've seen this before. This is an unbelievable superpower. It's excellent. It makes Toad one of the most frustrating characters in the game to try and bring down. So it's great to see this here because that's probably the defensive tech he needs to stay alive. You know, circa not having a bodyguard there. And now we have the secondary support suit. When this character would be dazed, it is KO'd instead. This character cannot be included in rosters, is never deployed at the start of the game, and can be put into play only as a result of the enhanced support system's superpower. So you can't put this Tony Stark in your roster because I actually think that people would be putting this Tony Stark in a roster, and he has flight. So guys, this is powerful. Hulkbuster is just going to be an absolute demon. You know, initially, the first thing you think of is how does it fit into my current roster? So the first thing I thought of is I'm playing Midnight Suns right now. I bring in Hulkbuster. I just make sure I have 2 other Avengers as well. So now I've got a Hulkbuster leadership for when I need it. But I also can be utilizing Hulkbuster to, you know, do the Midnight Suns one bump. One bump on a large base is really big, and he's got some really big attacks. So, you know, really happy to see that. You know, straight away, A-Force and probably Inhumans would be the best at powering this particular Iron Man up to get the 10 power. They'd be able to feed it to him very quickly. You know, probably in a turn or so, he'd be able to get to 10 power. Especially if you can force some attacks into him and he doesn't die. Yeah, I'm really impressed with Hulkbuster. I immediately feel good about him. I want him on the table. There's some really cool stuff about him. He will just look sick on the table as well. That's another thing, guys. He's just, the model for it's unbelievable. So, like, he has just got a really good feel to the game. I'm really happy to see him. There is one tactic card I want to hit, which will be paired with these guys, and it also can be paired with your other Iron Man as well, your core set Iron Man. So we've got the Helios Laser Bombardment. So I'll go through the bottom. Unaffiliated, during Tony Stark's activation, it's any number of allied characters may spend power to play this card. Man, I just keep yawning. During allied, Tony Stark may use the Helios Laser Bombardment attack shown above once this activation. So there's no cap I can see on the power spent. You know, it's not like Ghost Rider. It's a maximum of 5. It's a 10 dice, right? So this is straight away, guys. If you put an Iron Man into an A-Force or, you know, Magneto's leadership or those kinds of leaderships which are already flush with power, Cabal as well, flush with power, you can use this card as an execute. Just delete this character. So 5 dice, 5 range 5, 2 dice, 0 power. It ignores the line of sight, and then you do not benefit from cover. Add dice to this attack roll equal to the amount of power spent, and it has sweep and clear, wild. After the attack is resolved, enemy characters within 2 of the target suffer 1 damage. So, like I said, guys, I can't see a cap on this. I don't see any reason why you couldn't spend if you really, really. They have 1 character left. If they have 1 character left and you have 4 characters left, okay, and you have 4 characters left, and their 1 character is Dormammu, there is no reason why you can't activate Tony Stark and drop all 10 of his power, all 10 of your other three teammates' power, and drop 42 dice into 1 character. There's no reason you can't do that. So, little point of note, when I say execute, I mean like you're going to execute a character. There is no character in the game that survives an attack of that magnitude. It's going to cost you everything you got, and I'm okay with that. But for memes, this is hilarious, and I instantly love this card. So I'm really keen to play a game with Iron Man and a affiliation that is powered up heaps, probably A-Force, just so I can pick my opponent's heavy hitter, your Magnetos, your whatever, and just literally turn them to dust. And I think that'll be hilarious. So this is probably one of the greatest tactics cards I've ever seen them design, and I think it's great. And it's locked behind being Hulkbuster or Tony Stark. So really top tier. You know, it's locked behind a 6 threat, or it's locked behind one of the worst 3 threats in the game. So it's totally okay. But you know what? That 3 threat also has Ricochet Blast. So with Sam Wilson, you know, you now look at a Sam Spam. I think Sam Wilson can do it because I think it says just target a Captain America. Just correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Yeah, you got Ricochet Blast, Helios Laser Bombardment inside of Sam Spam. It's pretty funny. It's a good way for those lists to deal with, you know, things that are giving them problems. You know, big heavy hitters like your Modocs. Just, hey man, is that your Modoc on his healthy side? You don't have field dressing? Well, let me just hit him for 30 dice real quick. Get him off the board. Problem solved. He's dead. You know what I mean? Oh, it's funny. Yeah, really impressed with this, guys. I've got a another video I'm going to record tomorrow morning when I'm off shift. We've got Miss Marvel. I'll probably be rapid firing out some videos tomorrow because no doubt we'll get another spoiler coming up. So yeah, this is Hulkbuster, and I give it a thumbs up. It's good to go. Really, really happy with Hulkbuster, and I am trying to fit him into my roster as we speak because I just absolutely love the look of this, and this card I think is awesome. So count me in, guys. Anyway, back tomorrow. Don't forget to hit like down the bottom. Share it around your Marvel groups, guys. Get it out there. We're trying to build a channel. We're almost at 500, or we're just over 500 subs. So make sure you hit subscribe as well. And that's it. Got more Marvel streams as you've seen coming up. So starting to stream my actual games straight to YouTube. So a lot more YouTube content coming up, and it's coming up faster. So that's it for me, guys. Take it easy.